YouTube. This is How to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Rewritten in my words. My name is Devin and this is chapter 4 and I'm just going to read it to you. This is my affirmation video. Autosuggestion. The medium for influencing the subconscious mind. Autosuggestion is a term which applies to all suggestion and all self-administered stimuli which reach one's mind through the five senses. Stated in another way, autosuggestion is self-suggestion. It is the agency of communication between that part of the mind where the conscious thought takes place and that which serves as the seat of action for the subconscious mind. Through the dominating thoughts which one permits only suggesting think and grow rich, by which it is dominated by positive thoughts. The principle of autosuggestion voluntarily reaches the subconscious mind and influences it with their thoughts, and no thought of your choice can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion. Stated differently, all sense impressions are perceived may either be passed on to the subconscious or rejected at will. The conscious faculty serves therefore as an outer guard to the approach of the subconscious mind. Nature has so built man that he has absolute control over the material which reaches his subconscious mind through his five senses. This control is in the great majority of instances exercises it, which explains your life is in the riches which recalls to you being said about the subconscious mind is resembling a fertile garden in which is desirable growth and abundance, and the seeds in which are sown, and the autosuggestion is the agency and control in which we may individualize and may voluntarily feed the subconscious mind based on the thoughts of the creative nature. You were instructed in the last 6 steps to describe the chapter and read it out loud in a written statement of your desire for the money, and you will see and feel yourself already in possession of the money by following the instructions for the organization mastermind of your group, by following the instructions in the organized mastermind group in absolute faith. Through repetition of thoughts of your procedure, you voluntarily create thought habits in which you are favorable to efforts to transmute desire into its monetary equivalent. Go back to the 6 steps described here in chapter 2 and read them aloud again very carefully before you proceed any further. Then you will know why, and then you will read carefully the instructions for the organization of your mastermind group described in the chapter on organized planning. By comparing these 2 steps of instructions with which has been stated on autosuggestion, your course will see that the instructions involve application of the principle of autosuggestion. Remember, therefore, when reading aloud the statement of your desire through which you are endeavoring to develop a money consciousness, that there is reading of this is no consequence by mixing emotion feeling with your words. You will repeat 1,000,000 times a day the famous formula day by day, in every way I'm getting better and better, with mixing emotion and faith in those words. You will experience desirable results. Your subconscious mind recognizes the acts upon thoughts which have been well mixed with emotion and feeling. This is a fact of such importance as to warrant repetition in practically every chapter, because understanding this is the main reason applying in the principle of autosuggestion to receive desirable results. Emotional words influence your subconscious mind, and you will get appreciable results learning to reach your subconscious mind with thoughts and spoken words which have been well emotionalized with belief. Become courageous in control and direct your emotions. Remember, there is no such possibility as being able to reach and influence your mind, that it is without a price, and you cannot cheat. This price is the ability to influence your subconscious mind and its everlasting persistence in applying the principles described here. Never accept a lower price, and you alone must decide whether or not the reward for which you are striving, the money consciousness, is worth the price you must pay for it in effort. The law of averages favors the attraction of money through these sources. The method of attracting money described here does not depend on the law of averages. Moreover, the method plays no favorites. It will work effectively where there is temporary defeat. It was the individual, not the method, which has failed. Try and make another effort, and still another, until you succeed in your ability to use the principles. It's okay if we're interrupted. I hear people. I'm in a parking garage. We're gonna continue on though. Right as I spoke it was the individual, not the method, which has failed, and try to make another effort and still another until you succeed. Your ability to use the principle of autosuggestion will depend very largely upon the capacity to concentrate on one given desire until your desire becomes a burning obsession. And when you begin to carry out the instructions in the connection and with the 6 steps described in the 2nd chapter, it will be necessary for you to take use of the principle of concentration. Let us here offer suggestions for the effective use of concentration. When you begin to carry out the first 6 steps, of which I instructed you to fix in your own mind to carry out the exact amount of money you desire, hold your thoughts on that amount by concentration or fixation of attention with your eyes closed until you can actually see the physical appearance of money. Do this every day. As you go through the exercises, follow the instructions given in the chapter on faith and see yourself already in possession of the money. Here is the most significant fact. The subconscious mind takes any order given in spirit of absolute faith and acts upon those orders, although the order is often here to be presented over and over again through the repetition of thought. Therefore, they are interpreted by the subconscious mind. Following the preceding statement, consider the possibility of playing a perfectly legitimate trick on your subconscious mind by making it believe, because you believe it, that you must have this amount of money. You are visualizing that this money is already awaiting in your claim, that your subconscious mind must hand it over to you by practical plans for acquiring the money which is yours. Hand over the thought suggested in the preceding paragraph to your imagination and see where your imagination can or will create practical plans for the accumulation of money through the transmutation of this desire. Do not wait for the definite plan through which you intend to exchange services or merchandise in return for the money you are describing, but begin at once to see yourself in possession of the money, demanding and expecting meanwhile that your subconscious mind will hand you over the plans as you need. Be on alert for these plans, and when they appear, put them into action immediately. When plans appear, they will probably flash into your mind through the 6th sense in the form of inspiration. This inspiration may be considered a direct telegram or a message from the infinite intelligence. Treat it with respect and act upon it as you have received it. Doing this will enhance your success. In the 4th and 6th steps, you are instructed to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and beginning at once to put this plan into action. You should follow this instruction in the manner described in the preceding paragraph. Do not trust your reason when creating your plan for accumulating money through the transmutation of your desire. When visualizing with closed eyes the money you intend to accumulate to yourself, rendering the service, or delivering the merchant's items as you intend to give in return for this money. This is important. Here's a summary of instructions. The fact that you are reading this book is an indication that you earnestly seek knowledge. It is also an indication that you are a student of the subject. There is much more to learn by continuing an attitude of humility. Choose to follow all of the instructions and you will win. To get satisfactory results, you will follow the instructions in a spirit of faith. The instructions given in connection with the 6 steps in the 2nd chapter will now be summarized and blended with principles covered by this chapter as follows. First, go into a quiet spot, preferably in bed at night, where you will not be disturbed or interrupted. Close your eyes and repeat aloud so you may hear your own words. Then the written statement of the amount of money you intend to accumulate and the time limit for its accumulation, and a description of the service and merchandise you intend to give in return for the money. As you carry out these instructions, see yourself already in possession of the money. For example, suppose that you intend to accumulate $9.9 million by January 16, 2020, that you intend to give personal service in return for the money in the capacity of a salesman. Your written statement or your purpose should be similar or in that following. By the 1st of January 16th, I will have in my possession $9.9 million, which will come to me in various amounts from time during this interim. In return for the money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable of rendering, the fullest possible quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of a salesman, and whatever your salesman is, a book reader. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can see the money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting for transfer, and in the proportion that I deliver the service, I deal intend in return for it. I am awaiting a plan in which to accumulate this money, and I'll follow this plan when it is received. Second, repeat this program night and morning until you can see in your imagination the money you intend to accumulate. Third, we're going to place a written copy of your statement where you can see it in the morning and read it just before retiring upon arising until you have it memorized. Remember, as you carry out these instructions, that you are applying the principle of autosuggestion for the purpose of giving orders to your subconscious mind. Remember also that your subconscious mind will act upon instructions which are emotionalized and hinder to it with a feeling. Faith is the strongest and the most productive of the emotions. Following the instructions given on faith. These instructions may first seem abstract, and do not let this disturb you. Follow the instructions no matter how abstract or important or impractical they may be at first or appear to be. The time will soon come. If you do as you have been instructed in the spirit as well as in act, a whole universe of power will unfold to you. Skepticism in connection with all new ideas is characteristics of all human beings, but if you follow the instructions outlined, their skepticism will soon be replaced by belief, and this in turn will soon become crystallized into absolute faith. Then you will have arrived at the point where you may truly say, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul. Many philosophers have made the statement that man is the master of his own earthly destiny, but this is why he is the master of the reason. That the man may be the master of his earthly status, and especially his financial status, is truly explained in this chapter. And you may become man himself, and out of this environment, because he has the power to influence his own subconscious mind and through it gain the cooperation of infinite intelligence. You are now reading the chapter which represents the keystone to the arch of this philosophy. The instructions contained in this chapter must be understood and applied with persistence if you are to succeed. In transmuting desire into money, the actual performance of transmuting desire into money involves the use of autosuggestion as an agency by which one may reach and influence his subconscious mind. The other principles are simple tools which to apply autosuggestion. Keep this thought in mind, and you will at all times be conscious of the important part of the principle of autosuggestion is to play in your efforts to accumulate money through the methods here that are described in this book. Carry out these instructions as though you were a small child. Inject your efforts into something the faith of a child. This is a sincere desire to be helpful. Follow in a spirit and an action in this instruction and read this entire chapter out loud until you become thoroughly convinced that you have the principle of autosuggestion and it is sound, that it will accomplish for you all that it is claimed for. As you read and underscore with a pen every sentence that impresses you favorably, follow the foregoing instructions to the letter and it will open the way for you to complete understanding and mastery of the principles of success. Well, that was chapter 4 on how to think and grow rich by Napoleon Hill. I never wrote it in my own handwriting here. And that was autosuggestion. Thank you.